What's good, guys? It's Adam here from Shreddybrek, and this is your answers video to my last Q&A video where you guys post your questions and I give you my answers. So before we get started answering this video's worth of questions, if you have a question that you want to submit to me, all you need to do is leave a comment down below in the comment section. While you're there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you find these answers useful, then also hit that share button too. So here we go with this month's question and answers with Mr. Clangin' and Bangin'. So first up from Facebook, we have Stuart Smith asking, which wrestler is the GOAT? So if you want to talk about this in the literal sense, you could say Eric Rowan wearing that GOAT sheep mask type of thing. But if you want to talk about it in terms of who the GOAT has been over the past few years, it's none other than the main man, Daniel Bryan. My favourite though, of all time, has got to be none other than the great one, the people's champion, Shreddybrek's champion, The Rock. Marshall Wide from Facebook asks, what do you take for your joints? So, over the past, long before I even started competing, I've always taken a glucosamine supplement from My Protein, and I always change up the type of glucosamine I get. As to which one is the most effective, I'll be honest with you, I'm not too sure. I've used various ones, including basic glucosamine sulfate, a glucosamine with, I think it's HCl, Trilton, it might be the right way to pronounce it, probably is the incorrect way to pronounce it. And I've done a bit of reading over the years on, how glucosamine can help, and from what I've sort of now gathered and from what, the general consensus is, as a general health supplement, it's okay, but it's more for older people, who maybe already have arthritis to try and ease that. If that's correct or not, I'm not sure, because I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not an expert on supplements, I'm just someone, answering from my experiences. But something I have started taking a little bit more of over, I'd say the past couple of months, is omega-3 fish oils to try and help with any joint pain that I have. To be honest, I've always had, since I've started weightlifting, I've always had clicky wrists. Listen to this. Just call me Mr. Rice Krispie, because every part of Shreddy snap, crackles and pops. So for joints, to sum up, I take a combination of glucosamine and omega-3 fish oil capsules. Hope that answers that question. Trevor Jones asks, what cycle are you on? To which my reply is, hope that helps you out, Trev. Okay, over to YouTube for a couple of questions now. We have Tilak Raj asking the question of, I'm following a full body routine. I'm thinking to use only one exercise per body part. I know back will require more. Is this okay? If volume is enough, thanks again. So Tilak, if you're using a full body routine, and by the sounds of it, if you're only going to be looking at one exercise per body part, I would assume that you are somewhat of a beginner to the gym. What I would want to prioritise as a beginner is hitting back, chest and legs. The reason for this, in these three body parts, I would want to prioritise multi-joint big compound lifts. The reason for this is you're going to be hitting more than just the back with an exercise like the deadlift. You're going to be hitting more than just the back with an exercise like the bench press or the incline bench press. You're going to be hitting more than just your legs, more than just your quadriceps with an exercise such as a barbell back squat or a barbell front squat. In terms of the number of exercises that you're going to be doing and in terms of the volume that you're going to be doing, I would probably recommend doing more than one exercise for the big muscle groups, so the big main muscle groups. So for legs, for back and for chest, I would definitely recommend doing more than one exercise. Perhaps 2 exercises would be enough for you to get started with. An example of what I would recommend for a beginner's workout, a beginner's full body workout, would be something like starting with legs I would look to do a squat, whether it's barbell squat or a barbell back squat or a barbell front squat. Some kind of squatting movement I would want to see in there. And then I'd probably look to do some kind of straight leg deadlift or some type of hamstring curl. That way you're hitting, you know, quads with a big movement, then you're also hitting your hamstrings to bring up, you know, the hamstring development. When I was younger, I focused only on quads and my hamstrings sort of suffered and were quite lacking, you know, so I had to bring those up over years because I neglected them when I was younger. So I would recommend at least, you know, 2 exercises for legs, but probably go as far as to recommend 3 exercises maybe. Some kind of squat, the straight leg deadlift, and then, you know, a hamstring curl or a leg extension, depending on, you know, how you're feeling. If your quad is overdeveloped or if your hamstring is overdeveloped, you know, just keep that balance there. Definitely though, at least 2 exercises, a squat variation, and some kind of hamstring movement. Moving on to back, I would recommend something like a barbell row, a deadlift, or a chin up. You've got your choice of 3 exercises there. Deadlift, again, full body, big compound movements. You've got your barbell row, which you're going to be, you know, you're going to be wetting your core in that. You're going to be mainly targeting your lats, but you're also going to be using your biceps and your forearms, obviously gripping the bar. You've also got some kind of pull down variation, a pull up or a chin up, which again is just a good body weight exercise to do. So you've got 3 potential exercises to do there. Why not do all 3? For chest, I would look to do an incline press and a flat press. You can go a little bit further and, you know, do a fly or a cable, but if you're an absolute beginner, I don't think it's necessary. You know, a flat press and an incline press would suffice. You're going to be also hitting your shoulders and your triceps in that movement. I wouldn't really, as a beginner, worry about hitting biceps, triceps, or shoulders even, you know, directly. Maybe after 2-3 months of doing something like that, maybe throw a shoulder exercise in there. And then if you're going to start throwing shoulder exercises in and arm exercises in, you maybe be looking at, you know, 1 exercise would be enough volume because you've already hit those muscle groups in the bigger exercises that you've done. So to sum up, I would do at least 2 exercises per main muscle group. So that's chest, back, legs. You're going to be hitting your biceps, triceps and shoulders by doing those big movements. So 2 exercises would be, you know, sufficient, but you might find that 3 will give you that little bit extra help. Hope that answers your question. Next up, we have Mark Cairns from YouTube asking, have a wedding in 2 months. How can I look my best? And by that I mean, what's a short-term plan I can use to get quick results and return to a more sustainable afterwards? Cheers. Up the borough. In terms of the wedding that's coming up though, Mark, if you're looking for something, you know, a quick way to, you know, quick results, you're pretty much always looking, as you've mentioned, the quicker you do something, the quicker you're going to revert back to something. I always avoid crash dieting and, you know, these fad diets and things like that. They're not sustainable. Yes, you might lose some weight, but just because you lose weight on the scales doesn't mean you're going to look your best. In terms of, you know, how you're planning on looking at your wedding or how you want to look at the wedding, do you want to look bigger and, you know, bulkier when you're wearing your suit? Do you want to trim down and lose a bit of fat? That depends on your goals, it depends on what you want, and it depends on how you want to look on the day. So what I would recommend is deciding, you know, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to trim down or do you want to bulk up a little bit? If you're looking at trim down, you can, you know, over a short period of time, dramatically cut your carbohydrates, or you can increase your cardio levels to, you know, burn more calories and lose fat at a quicker rate. But you will quickly plateau, especially if you do a combination of the 2. And like you've already mentioned, it's not going to be sustainable. Quick results, it's always one of those things there where, you know, if there was such a thing as quick results, so, you know, a shortcut, everyone would be doing it. What I would recommend that you do is, you know, for the next 2 months is, let's assume that fat loss or weight loss, but if fat loss is your goal and maintaining muscle mass, it's being consistent over the next 2 months and it's making sure that every session and every day it counts towards the end goal. So what I'd be looking to do is get your macros on point. I've got videos on the channel. I'll try and post a link to a direct macro video in the comments or somewhere on the screen, so you can go and have a look at that. But what I would recommend that you do is work out macros, work out, you know, what is going to make you lose weight in terms of a calorie deficit. Maybe start with, you know, taking 300 to 500 calories off your BMR, and monitor that for 2 weeks or so. When you're in the gym, make every set count. Make sure you're doing cardio as a starting point. You know, I would probably go out 3 times a week, or even every other day if you're only going to be doing it for this, you know, short duration, just to get those results a little bit quicker. But make sure that every single weight session you're doing, you know, you're training balls to the wall. And if you're, you know, struggling for motivation, just think of how you want to look on that one day. Hopefully, you're only going to be getting married once in your life, so you want to make sure you're looking, you know, on point on that day. Hope that helps. It's no quick, you know, no quick easy answer. But what I would recommend that you do is, you know, be consistent with your diet, lower your carbohydrates as a starting point, and just make sure you're training hard and intense. Next up, we have the last question of this video, and that is from Sam Lol over on YouTube. Got a couple of that's alright, mate. What's the best way to get over a plateau when you're building muscle, as I'm getting to the point where I've reached a brick wall, even though I've got a long way to go? Also, are there any unusual foods which are a surprising source of protein, and it's easy to get bored of the usual options? And finally, what do you find is the best brand for sportswear or gym kit? Thanks, man. So Sam lol. In terms of gym kit and clothing, I'll be honest, I don't really buy a great deal of, you know, gym specific clothing. I have quite a lot of Protein Dynamics, so quite a lot of my protein, you know, gym clothing, which you'll probably see through the workout videos I put on. The majority of these are free though, when you order, you know, your supplements and things like that. I get quite a lot of those clothes for free, so it's very rare that I actually buy that type of gym clothing. I know a lot of people, you know, like Gymshark and they use Gymshark, but I've got no interest at all in the Gymshark brand. Would never go and spend my own money on something from Gymshark. It's just something that, you know, people like it, but it's just a brand that doesn't appeal to me. I normally just wear, you know, Adidas, Nike, even Slazenger. You can go to Sports Direct and buy just Slazenger, you know, joggy bottoms or something like that, if you're looking for a cheaper option. Vests just like this, you'll see, you know, even in general videos I wear Shreddybrek logo hoodies, I wear Superhero logo hoodies. One brand I do like, however, one brand of gym clothing that I do go out and spend money on is Triple XL, I think they're called, and you've seen the muscle tops I sometimes wear in some of the workout videos. I'll actually go and grab one right now. So something like this I like to wear. They're so comfortable, netted material, just probably my favourite gym tops you can get. Good for lazing about the house in. I really do recommend this brand of clothing. They are quite pricey though. I normally buy mine when I'm at a bodybuilding show and there's a stall there and they've got an offer, you know, whether it's buy 2 and get the 3rd one at a discount or whatever it is. I wouldn't pay full price for them because I think as standard these like 40 or 45 quid maybe is a top. I've seen them for that much online. I wouldn't pay that much for one, but you know, happy to pay 20, 25 quid for one if I can get them on a bit. Unusual foods for a source of protein. There's obviously the basic foods that you've got there, which you're probably getting a little bit bored of if you're asking this question. So in terms of the unusual foods there, cottage cheese, yogurt, natural yogurt, Greek yogurt, those are all high in protein. You can get the natural yogurt and Greek yogurts, things like that, the low-fat yogurts. If you put the My Protein flavour drops in there, or even a scoop of protein powder and mix it up if you don't like the taste of the plain yogurt, you can get, you know, you can make those yogurts taste really nice by using flavour drops or mixing protein powder in there. But outside of that, you know, if you're wanting to get protein, for me, it's just the basics, your eggs, your meat, and protein shakes. If you're struggling to hit your protein, then just go and have a protein shake. Dead easy, dead simple, no worrying. So you also talk about you've hit a plateau when building muscle. Now, a lot of times when people refer to building muscle or hitting a plateau when they build muscle, it's because they're actually trying to build strength and they've just, you know, hit a certain weight on the bench press, the deadlift, the squat, whatever it is, and they just can't seem to get, you know, over that hurdle. If you actually are talking about building muscle and developing your physique and you seem to have hit a plateau, depending on what your body composition is at the moment, if you haven't got visible abs, what I would probably recommend that you do at this stage is actually go on a cut and, you know, trim that body fat down get your metabolism going at a more efficient rate by, you know, burning your body fat, dieting, doing a bit more cardio, bring your body fat down to, you know, a level where you're looking lean. And then from this point, what I would do is start to slowly up calories again. You might lose, you know, a little bit of muscle during, you know, that cutting process, but you look a lot better for it. And then when you've, you know, lean, and you start slowly upping the calories rather than just going on, you know, a random dirty bulk with loads and loads of calories and putting loads of fat on. If you do it in a sensible manner where, you know, you're adding calories each week and you're monitoring your progress and you're building, you know, as lean muscle as possible, then you'll find that you start, you know, building better quality. You start putting better quality weight on, and you'll be putting more, you know, you'll be putting more muscle on as opposed to a ton of fat and just a tiny bit of muscle. Hope that helps out. But in terms of the workout, you know, whether you're cutting, whether you're bulking, you know, I'd always recommend that you keep the big compound lifts in there and train with a variety of rep ranges. So I do a heavy and a pumping session for every muscle group. You know, I train everything twice a week, one heavy session, one higher volume session. On your heavy sessions, you'll be looking at anywhere between 5 and 10 reps. And on your higher volume days, anywhere between 10, 20 plus reps. So guys, that's it for today's Q&A video with Shreddybrek. I hope you found it useful. Like I said at the start of the video, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you found this video useful, please share it with, you know, any of your friends or your gym partner or your gym buddy or whoever it is. I look forward to receiving your questions so I can answer them in the next video. And I'm going to make this a weekly thing, so make sure you get those questions in by, let's say, what, it's Saturday, I think it might be the 4th of March or something like that. Let's say by next Saturday, and I'll get them answered for you. I'll get the video uploaded early, you know, shortly thereafter. That's it for today though, guys. Until next time, keep clanging and banging.